Meanwhile, back here in our area, New York City Councilwoman arraigned tonight and then released, at least for now. Susan Schwang, charged with taking a large bite, that's right, a large bite from a New York cop's arm during a rally today in Brooklyn. But what we don't know tonight is why it happened in the first place.
Just another day in New York City where we see protests and cops getting bit. We're going to dive into this story with the New York City Councilwoman and why she did what she did. Let's get into it. In Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, a recent council meeting in Bensonhurst regarding a proposed homeless shelter that's stirring a lot of controversy, and the people that live in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, do not want a homeless shelter. They're really, really mad about it.
The solution is permanent affordable housing. The solution is services. Homeless shelters are an obstacle to that. Homeless shelters use millions and billions of dollars.
There's been a lot of heated debates, a lot of tension underscored the community's frustration with the city's leadership. They do not want this homeless shelter. So they had some protests and it got really, really out of hand. And the center of all this, the one that allegedly bit the cop's arm, is Councilwoman Susan Schwang. She opposed the proposed homeless shelter in Bensonhurst for several reasons. She argues that the neighborhood does not need a shelter because of existing nonprofits that already help those in need by providing job training and employment opportunities, effectively resolving the issue locally. I don't believe that, but this is the real reason. Strong believes that introducing a shelter in the area could potentially harm the community, creating safety concerns and negatively impacting the neighborhood's image. That's where it is. Because interesting enough, and even Strong highlights this, Bensonhurst currently doesn't have any shelters. And then also, since she is a Democrat, she believes that instead of spending money on shelters, funds for the shelter could be better spent on building more affordable housing, which she believes would offer a more permanent solution to homelessness. The problem is that most of these people in shelter cannot even afford anything. That's why you need a homeless shelter. So they're pretty mad, and then it gets to this point where she wants to bite off cops' arms. Again, allegedly.
Courthouse tonight. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan.
It started out as a typical, if loud, not in my backyard protest. Community members in Gravesend, Brooklyn, demonstrating against a...
I like that when he said, not in my backyard, because it's interesting that there's many homeless shelters all over Brooklyn. All over Brooklyn. I used to live across the street from a homeless shelter. Do you think I wanted a homeless shelter in my neighborhood? But it's interesting. In the more poor neighborhoods, Brownsville, Crown Heights, East New York, these areas have tons of homeless shelters. But this area doesn't want it, which is interesting because this councilwoman is a Democrat. They're all Democrats. But it's interesting that they voted for Democrat policies. They voted for Eric Adams, and I'm not going to talk shit. Eric Adams, I thought at one point was supposed to be the guy that would be more in line of trying to clean up the city. So far, Eric Adams sucks. We all made a mistake for the most part. We all voted for the guy and thought he was going to do a better job. Clearly, he did not. But it's okay for other places in Brooklyn that have the homeless shelter, but not here. That's interesting.
Planned 150-person homeless shelter for adult men. But soon, it got more physical. Several were arrested, and look at this. That's local New York City Council member Susan Schwang tussling over a barricade with an NYPD officer. This photo shows Schwang.
We're going to look at this photo right here. So we're all saying alleged, but it looks to me from this photo, again, it's a screen grab. What do you guys think? If you see someone's mouth opening right near where the cop's arm, and this is a white shirt, so I think this guy is actually like a supervisor, you're going to bite off his arm at a protest. So what do you guys think? Do you think that she actually bit this dude's arm?
Opening her mouth, the NYPD says, to bite Deputy Chief of Patrol Frank DiGiacomo.
Look, that's a bite. This woman is an animal. Hey, how about you go live in a shelter? Because something's wrong with you. You're a dog? Why are you biting people? You're a councilwoman. What is wrong with you?
This is the injury he suffered from that bite, according to the NYPD.
Councilwoman Zhang has been a great partner with the New York City Police Department for a long time. But the actions today of assaulting one of our police officers, deputy chief, by biting him viciously in the arm, I can't explain it right now.
Zhuang was arrested and charged with second and third degree assault, both felonies, and resisting arrest. She was arraigned tonight and released, but refused to explain what happened.
The councilwoman is not going to speak. We've advised her not to talk about the events of this morning.
She doesn't speak here, but she does talk the next day. Stay tuned. We'll watch that as well.
As I said, I'm confident that once the facts and circumstances come out about what happened this morning, the case against her will not proceed.
What facts is going to come out about this that would make this okay? What? She didn't know who he was. It was cops. Why are you biting people? Is self-defense?
Charges are proceeding now, though. The city council issued a statement saying violence is never acceptable and it is always important to respect city workers doing their jobs. We have seen the public footage circulating of today's incident and will be seeking to learn more about the details. But the Democratic Assembly member from the 42nd District defended Zhuang.
In the midst of all of that, things happen. And so, again, we're just going to wait for a lawyer and all the evidence and all the information to get together.
Yeah, things happen. She bit the dude's arm apart and it didn't make any sense. Everyone else is pushing and going back and forth. Why she took it to the next level and did that? What's wrong with you? That seems animalistic, to say the least.
Assault in the second degree carries with it the possibility of 7 years behind bars. The Police Benevolent Association tonight issued a statement saying the councilwoman should be treated like any other citizen.
Let's see what the mayor had to say about this.
First of all, I hope the chief is okay. It was a pretty nasty bite in his forearm. And I was a little surprised that this happened with the councilwoman. She's extremely supportive of police. And, these are emotional issues. And no one wants a shelter open in the area. That council district, that area has no shelters at all. You see the reports. There's some communities where they have 10, 12, 13 shelters in their community. Every councilmatic district must share this crisis of migrants and asylum seekers and the homelessness crisis that we're facing.
Let's see if the councilwoman actually apologized for what she did yesterday.
Thanks, everyone. I feel so honored, and also I feel so happy. I have the community I can go back to. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. What happened yesterday is so sudden, and I'm so disappointed, and I don't think I should get arrested from the first place.
Are you serious? You bit somebody. Why would you be able to go home after that? Is this a serious press conference here?
I have no doubt to support NYPD, as always. We Asian community should not be left behind.
Okay, I'm not going to show the rest. Her English is not very good, which is weird because she is a New York City councilwoman. But the first problem is, where's the straightforward apology to the officer that she bit? Susan has made this entire situation about her own issues, and what she did was take the attention away from exactly what's going on. They don't want the shelter, to losing her mind and biting an officer's arm. She talks about how much she supports the NYPD, but only when they do the things that she wants them to do. If not, she loses her mind and bites people. It seemed like her anger boiled over this protest. Her behavior, allegedly biting an officer, points to some deeper issues in managing her emotions under pressure. We elect these politicians to handle things, not lose their mind. I think this is just an embarrassing thing for everyone involved, especially this councilwoman. This is going to be my hot take. Build it. Build the shelter. Every other part of Brooklyn has shelters. This part is not special or unique. Let them build a shelter. Yeah, it sucks, but unfortunately, we all voted in a mayor that couldn't handle all of the illegal immigrants that showed up. We have a mayor that did not handle the migrant situation properly. People in Bensonhurst don't want to be burdened with the shelter. Unfortunately, we all have to deal with it. So suck it up and get the one shelter put in place. There's many areas in Brooklyn that have more challenges than Bensonhurst, and they still had to accommodate shelters without the luxury of special exemptions. Mayor Adams screwed up when he allowed over 100,000 people to show up in one of the most expensive places to live in the world. I just think it's a little hypocritical that these are Democrats here and they can't handle one shelter. As you see right here, a lot of shelters are in the poor areas in New York City, in Brooklyn. And then all of a sudden, one decides to show up and they're going to lose their minds about to bite off the cops because they need to build more shelters so people can actually have a roof over their head. I thought this is a Democrat policy. I thought people cared about each other. I thought the Republicans didn't care about the shelters or didn't care about these people. It's very interesting how hypocritical they are. They don't have no problems with shelters being in Bed-Stuy or being in Brownsville or East New York. But when it comes to Bensonhurst, oh yeah, can't have that over here. No, we're special over here. But what do you guys think about the situation? Let me know. Put in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.